Hello Digidestins, this is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today we're going to go over some of the card reveals. Again, we have a lot of BT-7 to go over with because they introduced a lot of the other supports. A lot of the secrets got shown off, and they had a lot of supers shown off in the last couple days. It's ridiculous. A lot of these cards are going to be their own style of deck, which I'm liking these new style of play, but we're going to have to see what comes forth of them. So let's go over the first card. So first off, we have Biowolfmon. So when your Digimon that has a tamer in his Digi-Evolution card digivolves into this card from your hand, reduce the Digi-Evolution by 2. So again, being able to digivolve on, let's say, a Lucemon that has a tamer underneath it, for 1, you could really just go 2, 1, 3 costs for a turn, and you're already on ultimate on your turn, which is really nice. But it also has a nice when attacking. So you may return 1 Digimon card with hybrid in its form from this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards to your hand. Return one of your opponent's 4 or lower Digimon to the owner's hand. Being able to pop back pesky blockers and stuff like that gives Blue another way of going around things that they used to not go around, which makes them a lot more powerful in the long game. So again, Biowolfmon is a definitely solid 3 out of 4 or 5 stars card. I think it's really good. It's clutch in its own deck, but it won't see much play outside of its own deck. Doesn't synergize well with the new stuff. So here is our first when digivolving and when attacking Digimon. So we have Magna Grumon. So at least it combos well with Grumons in its name. But what's really nice, you may return 1 Digimon card with hybrid in its form from this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards to your hand to return one of your opponent's Digimon with the same level as that card turned to the owner's hand, which is really nice because the tamer that's going to play Magna Grumon is going to have the same effect, being able to put 5 hybrids underneath. So at least now you have at least a grade 1 through whatever you need to be able to bounce back anything. So being able to bounce back a normal evolution line, this would only be able to hit ultimates through rookie, and that's really tough to do. Again, so you need to pay attention what works and what doesn't. And then once per turn, if you have once per turn when your hand is increased by effect, unsuspend one of your Digimon. Again, we'll probably have to use, again, there's 2 ways of going about this. You can either use their own effect to bounce something back to when digivolving and when attacking to try to get a blocker out of the way, or you could do is by making it so that this Digimon is, you draw a bunch of cards, you could make it just restand because of 1 card, like a 2 card option that lets you draw. Again, there are ways of doing the same thing to make him restand, and it's a 12,000 DP to boot, but 4 costs is a little pricey. Next, let's talk about the Pulsemon got revealed. So if you have 3 security, gain 2 memory. This is inherited when attacking. So again, being able to gain 2 memory is going to really push yellow into this weird focus build, and it's really nice to see what they're doing with it. And then once per turn, when you have 3 or more security, this Digimon gains blocker. So really nice because now Bulkmon is giving your Bigmon blocker. Again, it's kind of pseudo, like they're trying to make it so if you're sticking around at 3, you kind of gain this ability to keep your opponent at bay. And why I mean that is, like, they're trying to make it like Kazushimon's evolution Pulsemon to Kazushimonn is all similar to Magna Grumon, where it gains a bunch of inheritables basically because it's underneath. But this is like just for Bulkmon effect. Again, you don't even have to put it underneath like your stuff. Being a level 4 giving blocker is just nuts and very powerful. Next, we have Batamon. So when your opponent's Digimon attacks the player, you have 3 or more security, unsuspend this Digimon. Really nice because now they give us a second way of blocking with this. So when your opponent's Digimon attacks the player, so remember, now your blocker can block twice. It's just making Kazushimonn very much blocker tanky. So again, let's talk about Kazushimonn, another super rare that was revealed during the week. When digivolving, if you have 3 or more security cards, gain 2 memory, and if you have 2 or fewer securities, you may recovery +1 until you have 3 securities on top. Again, this card's going to be really annoying. I can see a lot of security control decks going for this kind of card. Again, just rely on Bachimon, the Pulsemon line, all the way up to Bachimon, just to focus heavily on making it so you're always at 3 security, and then you'll just use other stuff to bring you further up. Again, I can see a security control list related around Kazushimonn. So again, it's going to be really interesting what they're going to do with it. And then your turn, while you have 3 or more security, this Digimon gains security +1. So again, if you can get this for 3 costs, it's going to be really nice. Again, it's another security control style kind of deck. One of the green cards that was revealed is Torturomon. So you may reveal one green Digimon card from your hand, place it at the top of your deck to give this Digimon 3000 DP for the turn. Again, really nice to be able to place the top, because now you can put a Mega if this thing's an ultimate, and because we have a new Torturomon, so we have Mamma Torturomon. So again, really nice when attacking, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may digivolve this into one green level 6 card from among them without paying its memory cost. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck of any order. Again, this can help out decks that really struggled in the face of getting their Megas out. And again, now you get to do the draw, you get to cycle back, and it's for free. Again, you're going to be seeing a lot of decks play around with this, and at least being able to say not play its memory cost is just going to be quite nutty and very powerful going forwards. Let's talk about the secrets. So first off, we're going to talk about Lucemon Chaos Mode, or Fall Down Mode. So again, you have Lucemon. It can digivolve into this card from your hand for a memory cost 7, ignoring this card's Digievolution requirements. The only Lucemon that can do this right now is himself, or you could digivolve the yellow one on top of him, because it is a Lucemon. But again, why would you pay 7 to digivolve on top of it? I mean, you just hard play it for 5. And it's that weird wonkiness that just doesn't really suit well. He's a level 5, and why would you digivolve? He's just really good to digivolve on top of himself for that 7. Or if we get in a future set his other forms, Satanic Mode, and then the Larva Mode. Again, they're going to be very interesting cards to see where they go from here. At least we know they're the 5. We got a 3. We don't have a champion, which might be the Larval Mode, which I don't know how they would do that, but then have the big dragon with the spear basically be the ultimate. I mean, the Mega. We already know that Satanic Mode Lucemon is going to be the level 6, but again, we're going to have to wait. Again, it's a secret card, so again, it's probably going to be in a couple sets. So when you play this card in your hand, reduce the memory cost by 3 for every 10 cards in your trash. Really nice to be able to cheap him out. The only max I'm going to see, unless you are literally at your end of your ropes and you're heavily focused on milling, this card can naturally go down by 6 to hit 7 to be a play cost of 7, which isn't bad. And if you can get the 30, which even Lilithmon Loof struggles to get the 30, or even 20 is tough for them sometimes, this can go down to being like a pretty nice 4 cost mon, just by having 30 cards in your trash and just being able to play this thing. And what's really nice, it does have an on play, and when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon, or another way of getting rid of tamers. Again, Lucemon Chaos Mode is really nice, and it's going to be centered around one of his own themed decks. Again, or he could be clutch as like a 1 of or a 2 of, because again, what's nice is he's also not restrictive for being, you can digivolve on top of him, but he's a hard play. So again, he might see more play in a Megazoo variant instead of like his own theme. So like, there's just too much cards missing. But what really came really nice to me is Ultimate Sacrifice. Play one of your purple level 5 cards from their trash without paying its memory cost. If you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you may play one Digimon card with Lucemon in its name without paying its memory cost. Again, this is future proofing for a future card. Again, right now you could play the yellow Lucemon to get the on play, but why would you do that? Again, or you're gonna get a Lucemon other than Fall Down Mode, because again, Lucemon Chaos Mode is automatically playing itself with this card. But again, there's also other purple cards you can play with this, like Chimeramon, or even, let's say, if you have Cerberusmon already on board, you use this, play the Rush Cerberusmon with its on play, sacrificing that, and this card basically nets you +1 for memory. And this is really nice. It's a rare. Being able to play on plays is going to be nutty, because this is going to be a really good card. Do not sleep on this card. I'm telling this right now, we're going to see a lot of play with this. This card's going to be meta. eventually. If this card is not meta right out of the set, you're going to see it be meta later. Next, let's talk about Ancient Evolution. So if you have a Digimon with hybrid in its form, you can use this option, ignoring its color requirement. One of your level 4 Digimon can digivolve into one of your cards from your hand with the same color and with 10 warriors in its typing by paying its Digievolution cost and ignoring the level requirement. So what's really nice is, sadly, we're not going to get all the 10 spirits, which kind of upsets me. I would have liked this to be more focused around the 10 warriors, getting the rest of them in here, but it seems like they just want to trickle them in slowly and over future sets and get their megas and stuff like that later on. This set will focus heavily on the frontier group, but it only go up to their probably champion levels. They're not going to go to their ultimates. So again, like Beetlemon and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Beetlemon. And then the but again, no biggie there. But again, I feel like we're gonna be waiting a little bit till we see it. So again, Ancient Evolution is gonna be really good. Don't sleep on this card. Get your play sets now or above, because I'm gonna tell you this right now, you're going to want them. There's no questions asked. So let's talk about Susanomon. So by placing the top total of 10 cards with Tamer or Digimon card with hybrid in their form from your hand or trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, you may digivolve this card in your hand onto a Tamer as if the Tamer is a level 6 Digimon. Wow, this is going to create its own deck. I'm telling you this right now. It swings for 30 plus 2 already. No inheritables needed, but you can also, it's rainbow right now. I don't know if black and white is part of this coloring, because again, the circle is quite interesting. It does have a little bit of black around it, which could indicate it's going to have black part of it. But again, I don't know. We're going to have to wait for the frequently asked questions for this card to be more stabilized to know. But when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Straight out, when digivolving, delete something. This could create very interesting strategies where it's Mega Zoo with a lot of Tamers. Susanomon's kind of like your go-to. He's a Mega, Vaccine, and God Shaman. So again, he's God type, which is really nice. And let's talk about Jagger Loroman, which was also shown off. Really nice effect because it can digivolve for 1 on top of itself, allowing you to draw more cards. But you may digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your purple Tamers as if it was a level 3 Digimon for the Digievolution cost of 2. Which is really nice because now instead of paying that 3, it's a 2. Really good. And then when digivolving, if this Digimon has a card with hybrid in its form or has himself underneath it, which I really like this Digimon gains retaliation. And if it deleted after the battle, delete one of your opponent's Digimon until the end of opponent's next turn. I kind of wish it had blocker, to be honest with you. I would have loved this card to be a retaliation with blocker, just so that the retaliation matters a little bit more. I mean, yes, swinging into your opponent's Digimon can really do some damage, but being able to have it with blocker, on the other hand, is just a lot nastier. Again, giving more option. And then let's talk about Beetle Mod. So you may digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your green Tamer as if the Tamer is a level 3 Digimon. Again, Mimi's gonna green decks are instantly putting this deck in because again, it is a hybrid variant and a cyborg. Nothing too different. I kind of hate that it's classified cyborg. I wish it was insectoid, but again, cyborg it is. When digivolving, reveal the 5 cards to the top of your deck. Add 1 card with hybrid in its form and 1 JP among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. So guys, let me know down in the comments what you think of this. What of these new cards really spice things up for you? What decks are you excited for? Let me know down in the comments and I'll catch you in the next one. Susanomon is king. Peace.